want to talk about, that I talk to my daughter about all the time. Depression. You know, we all get depressed. You know, we all get depressed. But I think the great majority of our depression, of our mental depression, is not something we did or something that somebody did to us. I'm not saying you don't get depressed when your mom or your dad or your loved ones pass away or some terrible, grievous thing has happened to you in life. But I'm saying those times when you can't explain it and you just get depressed. You know what? We all do. We all get depressed. We all get friggin' depressed, all right? We all do it. It's a natural part of life. But I'm convinced that there's a lot to depression that's just chemical. It's in the brain. That's all it is. You know, it's like a woman having a menstrual cycle. You know, guys go through cycles too. I think somebody said the other day that gentlemen go through like a 90-day kind of cycle where we all get a little depressed and our hormones and all the things inside of us start changing. So I say to my daughter, look, first of all, when you get depressed, know that you're going to move through it. You're going to get to the other side. You always do, you know. Don't you know from experience when you get depressed, you're depressed for a certain period of time and then you move through it. So sometimes you got to board up the windows and close the door and stay in the house for a couple of days. But so what? That happens to everybody. So you move through it, you get to the other side, and the depression's over, but it's not the last depression you're going to have. You know that. So you learn from experience. As I say to my daughter, you know, when you get depressed, realize it may not be something you did. It may not be anything that anybody did to you. It may just be a chemical reaction in your brain that's causing you to be depressed, and that all you can really do is move through it. Try to be happy if you can, but you know, that's that. Now, my other suggestion for success is all of us get sick. You know, we get colds, we get the flu. Here's my prescription for staying well and not getting sick. Here's the deal on that. First of all, you've got to be in touch with your body. You know, you've got to know when you're feeling a little bit sick. Right there at that moment when you just start feeling like a little fluish or a little run down or a little bit of a scratchy throat, you've got to get that early. You know, that's the key. You can't wait until you got a full-blown cold. So the key here, my friends, is to know exactly the moment when you might start getting sick, and that's the time to combat it and to do something about it. Now, my prescription to you, and again, I'm not a doctor here by any stretch of the imagination, but it always seems to work with me, is first of all, drink lots and lots and lots of fluids. Drink so much water that you're going to the loo every hour if you have to, but you're drinking constantly, because what that does is it flushes out your system. It gets your body clean. It only makes sense. It's physics. You want to get all the bugs, all the stuff inside you out, and you've got this automatic human system that allows you to flush it all out. So when you get a little bit sick and you feel that early sickness coming on really early now, you've got to be sensitive to it. Start drinking lots and lots and lots and lots of fluids. Okay, next thing you got to do, don't let yourself, you know, wallow in your sickness. You know, get out and do something if you have to. And I'm not saying if you got the flu, you got to go out and do something, but you know, half of it is mind over matter. You know, you've got to feel good about yourself. If you feel good, then your body will have more resistance. It'll be stronger to fight off whatever's inside of you. So I'm telling you right now, this is what you got to do. You got to drink lots of fluids, and you got to get a good night's sleep the very first couple of nights. So what I do, take a sleeping pill if I have to. Take a couple of aspirin. You know, a couple of aspirin puts me out. I'm tired. You know, I might take 3 aspirin. Again, I'm not a doctor. Don't sue me if this doesn't work. But I've always found that it's worked for me. All right, related thing here, back pain. How many people got back pain? You know what happens? You know, we're vacuuming the floor, we're sweeping, and we're bending over, we're lifting things, and then up the back goes out. Okay, here's the deal on that. Just remember, this is a little bit like a cold. The earlier you sense it, the better it's going to be. So you've got to be sensitive to the fact that when you're doing some kind of physical activity, the minute you feel something happening to your back, you let yourself fall gracefully to the floor. Don't fight it, don't stiffen, don't get up right away, because that'll just make it worse. Let yourself go loose as you possibly can. Go to the floor, stretch the muscles where you think that that pain is. Now, if it's a spinal thing, you can still try it. It works for me. Get down there very slowly to the floor and let yourself stretch a little bit, and then slowly, 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 slowly get up. But the whole notion here is that what happens is, a lot of times, we feel the back pain going and then we react violently, which makes it even more difficult for us. So what I'm saying to you is, when you feel that initial stab in your back, whether it's the lower back or the middle back or your shoulder blades or something like that, try to get to the floor, roll, relax, and I think you'll be a lot better.